Hey everyone, so this video is going to be a deep dive into our skills feature. And you can access it on the left-hand side in the sidebar. A good way to think about skills is it's kind of like a blueprint, right? When you're you're building out your IKEA furniture, you have a manual. And so you can think of that as a skill for your agent. And the great thing about Xtrace is that within Memory Hub, you have the ability to create as many skills as you want. You have a skill to create skills even. And this is where you can specify certain things. So in this case, you can see we have the skill of how to analyze a spreadsheet. How do you create a one-pager? How do you create a PowerPoint? How do you even do a demo, right? Create a HTML demo, interactive demo. So it's really up to you, and you can think of it as, a consistent way to have the AI perform a certain task so you get an expected output. And so it'll follow certain things like step one, step two, step three, or do this first, like research on the web, and then create a PowerPoint, and then from there, do something else. So all of that can be constructed into a package, as we would call it a skill. And you can also daisy chain multiple skills together within a routine, which I'll touch on in a later video. So when you go into the platform, you have the skills that were created or shared with you in your skills section. You also have browse catalog. And so this is where we built out some skills based on our conversations with customers, where we feel like this is pretty relevant or this is pretty ubiquitous and general in the way that you can use it. So if you want to look at engineering skills, well, we have some built out for you already. If you want to look at maybe go-to-market skills, we have some as well, and we're actively building this repository for you to use. Now, another way to create skills or look at skills is creating your own. And you can do this manually, which will be just typing it out through natural language, giving a step-by-step process of how to do it, or you can upload an existing skill. So this is something that maybe you already created in Claude. And so you can actually export that and then import it into here as well. If we go through the manual path, it's pretty easy. So maybe in this case, it's like, creating blogs. And basically it's like create blogs in my voice and personality, and you can continue there. You can first save it to your private memory, but if you want to share the skill with, say, other teammates of yours or share it within a brain, you can do that as well. And really it's just, tools it may use, you can read and write, so you can keep it at that. And then once you continue, then you add in more instructions on how it works. So you can say, hey, first, only have 3 to 5 paragraphs, do research first on the topic and then write it out, maybe judge it at a score of 1 to 10, and then only when it reaches 10, then do you actually, complete the task. So a lot of different ways you can build out a skill. It's really up to your imagination and how you usually build skills in the past if you've done so before. Another way to actually build skills too is directly using the AI tools I use. So in this case, I have it where I constantly use Claude Cowork, and so in this case, I don't have to actually interact with my platform, but I can interact with it indirectly through my Claude Cowork. So in this case, what I'm saying is, hey, build out this skill for writing blogs, exactly as you saw in the previous section where I was manually doing it. Now I can also do it directly with my AI assistant using Claude Cowork. And so it's going to think a little bit, it's going to figure things out, it's going to say, hey, this is going to be about Xtrace, connect to it, and then ultimately build out this skill. So we'll take a second here for it to finish all of this thinking. All right, so now it's getting to a point where it's actually creating that skill, and we're going to see it show up in Memory Hub as well. All right, so it is finished, and I'm going to check right now in Memory Hub, refresh, and there we go. So it created that directly through my Claude Cowork, and it appears in my demo environment with Memory Hub. And if you click into it, it is pretty much the same exact thing. And so what I can do with that too is I can also copy it to a brain as well. So you can see here, I can just copy it to any particular brain, so that way it has that context, it has those manuals whenever it needs to do something. So with that, I hope it gives you a better understanding of the skills feature within our platform. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you.